Part 1. The History Before the Cut. In the time before the second sun dimmed, long before the age of men, the earth was not as you see it now. Its crust was soft with living plasma. Its mountains breathed, and its forests were forests of titans. Trees whose trunks reached clouds and whose crowns touched the lower ionosphere. These were not plants in the modern sense, but sentient crystalline organisms, bioplasmic conduits of the planet's Ka current. They formed the vertical pillars of the emerald grid, carrying energy between the inner earth and the sky temples of the sun. Each one was a gate tree, a cosmic antenna that translated starlight into nourishment for all beings below. The Egyptians called them the Djed trees, the pillars of stability and life force. Their sap was liquid light, and their bark encoded the geometric language of the solar architects. The planet itself pulsed through them. Part 2. The Arrival of the Giants. Then came along the giants, known in the oldest Egyptian as the Neteru Afu, the flesh of the stars. They were not evil by nature. They were engineers, colossal hybrid beings, seeded by ancient celestial races, some from Orion, some from Nibiru, who sought to sculpt matter into perfect resonance. Standing mountains high, their nervous systems were crystalline like the trees themselves. They were born to tend to these Djed forests, to prune, to sculpt, and to harvest the sap for star fuel, a plasma that powered the early ark ships of the gods. But when the Luciferian rebellion fractured the unity of the heavens, these beings became divided. Some remained guardians of the living forest, while others were corrupted by the hunger for power, the will to own the current of life. Part 3. The Great Harvest. When the first galactic war reached Earth, the fallen factions of the giants were commanded to harvest the Djed trees for military use. Their plasma cores could be condensed into oraculum, a monoatomic material capable of sustaining stargates and weaponry. And so they cut. They came with vibrational axes, resonance tools that shattered matter through harmonic inversion. Each strike released a sound like thunder and a flash like dawn. Where a single tree fell, entire continents trembled. The atmosphere dimmed as the canopy of living light collapsed, and the grid that once connected heaven and earth fragmented. The oceans surged, seeking balance. Mountains rose where trunks had been severed. Many of the flat-topped mesas you see today, Devil's Tower, Mountain Roraima, Zuma Rock, and others, are said to be the petrified bases of those once living pillars. Part 4. The Silence After. When the forests were gone, the giants themselves began to fade, deprived of the bioplasmic resonance they shared with the trees. Their bodies hardened into stone and crystal. Some fell asleep beneath the mountains they had raised. Others dissolved into sand and ash. The mother of the earth, Gaia, mourning her children, sealed their spirits into the crust as tutelary guardians. Their bones became mountains, their veins rivers, their hair the roots of the remaining forest. What humanity later called myth was in truth the memory of a geological apocalypse, a biospheric wound still echoing in the planetary field. Part 5. The Neteru Interpretation. The Egyptians record this era as the fall of the Djed, the moment the tree of life collapsed into material density. Symbolically, it marks the descent of consciousness from the fifth harmonic octave into the third, the beginning of separation, individuality, and death. In the temples of Memphis, priests of Ptah carved pillars resembling the Djed tree to remember this loss. The raising of the Djed ceremony each year symbolized the reawakening of that ancient life current within the human spine, restoring the cosmic tree within the body. Thus, what was once external, the planetary pillar, became internalized within humanity as the spinal column, a miniature axis mundi capable of reconnecting heaven and earth through spiritual awakening. Part 6. The Hidden Legacy. Fragments of the giant trees still pulse within certain mineral formations, especially quartz, basalt, and diamond. Those crystalline remnants act as memory cells, holding the vibration of the pre-cataclysmic biosphere. Those who attune to them through meditation, sound, or geomantic alignment can access visions of that luminous era and even awaken dormant DNA strands once resonant with the tree's plasma. Modern science glimpses this memory in the piezoelectric nature of quartz and the superconductive potential of monoatomic elements. Spiritually, it is the same current, the Ankh current, waiting to be reignited through consciousness. Part 7. The Return. Prophecies in the Emerald Tablets speak of a future epoch, the eighth sun, when the trees will rise again, not as wood, but as pillars of light. They will sprout from the energetic grid, regenerating the biosphere into its crystalline state. The giants will return, not as physical colossi, but as awakened humans whose Ka bodies reach from Earth's core to the solar logos, which is the sun. These will be the new tree tenders, those who restore the bridge between the inner earth and the celestial realms, the same bridge once broken by the fall of the Djed tree forest.